Coming up on Mountain News at 6, new details in the death of a young Southern Kentucky girl, what we're learning from inside the courtroom. Plus, the Pike County Detention Center is working with its partners to address rates of re-incarceration by putting inmates back in the workforce.
And we are ending November on a cold note. The details on lows in the 20s coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A 4-year-old who died in a Southern Kentucky home was subject to severe punishment, so much that her caregiver had to step in to stop it. But that caregiver and another man are now charged with her murder. The victim is 4-year-old Chloe Darnell. She and the woman had custody of her, and another man are charged with her murder. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what was said during a court hearing this morning.
Investigators executed a search warrant on a home on Oval Lane in Whitley County, which followed a missing persons case involving Brittany Slaughter and 4-year-old Chloe Darnell, who is related to her and in her custody.
We noted what we thought was blood spatter on the front porch.
Slaughter had partial custody of the little girl and admitted to police that she didn't want to be found. She and Hayes told police the girl fell off a short shelf in her room and they tried to revive her, but she died. Emergency services were not called.
She was high and didn't want to be judged by people, by family.
But Slaughter also said Hayes from time to time would severely punish Chloe for messing herself.
Brittany indicated that she would on occasion have to step in.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions with this case. More will be known once the autopsy results are finally in. At that time, the prosecutor also tells me they may know more about the murder charge, whether this is intentional or wanton. There was testimony Chloe had various injuries on her body.
There were notable fractures, I think around the face area. Some around the skull and some rib fractures.
Prosecutors say the question now is if those injuries were inflicted or incurred during the burial process. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The judge did find probable cause to send the case to a grand jury. A former corrections officer at a federal prison in Martin County has pleaded guilty in connection with assaults on inmates. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports Ryan Elliott, a former officer at USP Big Sandy, pleaded guilty on November 21st to violating an inmate's rights and falsifying records. The court record claims in March 2021, Elliott punched an inmate and filed a false report stating the inmate was violent and assaultive. He's scheduled to be sentenced in February. A Florida man is behind bars after police say he hit another man in the face. Last Thursday, deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office were sent to Sherman Lane, which is about a mile from London. Deputies ended up taking 29-year-old Roger Parker of Florida into custody. He was charged with fourth-degree assault and taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. In Letcher County, 2 people are facing charges after a traffic stop. Jenkins police pulled Emery Mullins and Samantha Callahan over last night in the Fleming Neon community. When the officers searched the vehicle, more than $1,100 in cash and 7 ounces of meth were found. Mullins was also driving on a suspended license. Both Mullins and Callahan were taken to the Letcher County Jail. 4 people are behind bars after multiple law enforcement agencies were involved in a drug bust also in Letcher County. It happened last Friday at a home on Highway 160 in the Kings Creek community. During the raid, police discovered more than 20 grams of meth as well as 54 grams of marijuana, more than 280 pills, and nearly $1,700 in cash. Lona Griffey, Teddy Collins, Chanda Boggs, and Shannon Napier were arrested and taken to the Letcher County Jail. Officers with the Paintsville Police Department had an interesting holiday weekend. Officers were called to VIP Fuels for a call of a fight in progress with weapons involved last Friday. When they arrived, they found 28-year-old Christian Crace of Paintsville in possession of a knife. Police determined he also had meth, drug paraphernalia, and pills on him during a search. Crace was arrested and taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. We're learning more about a major train derailment in Rockcastle County right before Thanksgiving. Officials say a failed wheel bearing on one of the cars is what caused the derailment. People were evacuated from their homes as crews worked to clean up the molten sulfur. As of yesterday morning, all the released product was removed and about 2,500 tons of impacted soil was replaced with clean material. CSX is still offering support to those affected in Rockcastle County. Fire officials are sharing tips on how you can avoid a fire this holiday. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares some small things you can do and how it can make a difference.
The holiday season is typically a busy season for first responders as they see more reports of fires in homes.
So November and December are the busiest months for kitchen fires in a home, and that basically has to do with the holidays and a lot of people cooking at home, cooking a lot more than they're used to.
Corbin Fire Department Public Information Officer Nathan Kirby says a lot of people have joined in on the trend of deep frying turkeys. He says it's important to safely fry them by making sure it is fully defrosted and there is not too much oil in the pot.
Often people won't read the directions of the equipment that they've purchased to deep fry the turkey. The oil then overflows and then causes a fire. There should be a fill line that's marked of where to fill it with oil, and then when you put the turkey in, the oil comes up to the correct level. Outside
of the kitchen, you should also be aware of what kinds of Christmas trees you have in your home.
So between a fake Christmas tree and a real Christmas tree, the synthetic and the fake tree is a safer option always. With a real tree, you have to worry about it drying out, so it's really important to keep that watered properly.
Kirby says you should also be mindful of the lights on your tree.
As far as the lighting goes, old-fashioned incandescent bulbs tend to generate a lot of heat. If you have a modern LED light bulb, it doesn't produce as much heat and is not as much of a risk. With Christmas lights, often they are designed to be butted into each other to run in a series. We don't recommend that.
Adding to keep your smoke detectors with updated batteries just in case.
Be sure that you have your smoke alarms batteries updated. We recommend that people change it when daylight savings time starts or when it ends. Spring forward and fall back is a great time to just update those batteries. Even if they're not needing to be replaced, go ahead and replace them anyway.
Saying it is better to be safe than sorry. In Corbin, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Kirby says it's also important to keep your carbon monoxide detectors on and lower to the ground as it is heavier than oxygen. For more information on how you can stay safe this holiday season, you can find this story on our website.
We are tracking a taste of winter across the mountains as we end the month of November. Here's a live look this evening from Knott County, courtesy of our friends from the Kentucky Mesonet. You can see we are dry right now. We are watching out, though, for those clouds to continue to clear as we go into this evening, also tonight. And as those clouds clear and the sun sets, those temperatures are going to tumble. Most of us right now in the middle to even lower 30s in some areas. You can see we're down to 37 for Manchester, 34 in Hazard, 31 for Clintwood, and 28 the cool spot over in Wise at this hour. So once again, we are chilly this evening. We get even cooler, though, as we go into tonight, also into your Tuesday night as well. So as we go up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, you can see a dry trend continues into this evening as high pressure also sits over the mountains. So we are watching out for that to continue as we go into tonight. But we are tracking those rain chances to also increase later on this week. But first, a chilly night is on the way. Temperatures back in the middle to upper 20s, but some near average weather also returns by Thursday and Friday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. The Pike County Detention Center is working to address recidivism one inmate at a time. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about a program that's preparing inmates for their futures.
A partnership in Pike County is reimagining reentry.
You know, a lot of inmates, upon getting released, they go out and when they seek job opportunities, when employers hear they just was released from jail, they shy away from them.
Goodwill Industries of Kentucky recently received a grant for more than $123,000, which was used to partner with the Pike County Detention Center to address recidivism.
I think the most important thing that the system can offer an inmate is the reentry. That's one thing that's overlooked.
The program will target 50 inmates from the detention center and help connect them with the resources to get into the workforce.
There's money and counseling there for drug addiction. But when the inmate is released, they're released right back to the same standards that they had before they was incarcerated.
Counseling is also part of the program, bringing in Apple Red Legal Aid and Mountain Comprehensive Care to address mental and legal concerns.
I mean, we do as much as we can in-house here with our inmates, but it's the help from the outside entities.
Jailer Brian Morris says the program is about more than help. It is about hope.
My biggest hope is these 50 individuals that's released will see a better tomorrow.
And with Goodwill's recent announcement of its new Aspire program, which plans to provide similar services to hundreds of incarcerated individuals.
What I wish for most is when this grant ends, we can renew it and get another one and help 50 more.
He hopes it is only the beginning of the new beginnings. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Goodwill representatives say the new Aspire program will expand on Goodwill's reintegration services. Former Kentucky Governor Paul Patton says Andy Beshear might be the last Democratic governor in Kentucky for a long time in a now red state. Patton, who is a Democrat, served as governor from 1995 to 2003. His comments came when he sat down with me earlier today for Issues and Answers. We talked about his new book, The Coal Miner Who Became Governor, and the current state of politics in Kentucky and the nation, including Governor Andy Beshear being reelected.
He was already an incumbent, and that means a lot. He has done a great job, and the people recognize it. So he's faced some really tough, I thought I had some tough issues, but then his father came along and had even more tough issues, and then he came along and had even more tough issues. And he's done a good job. The people recognized it.
Patton is now 86 years old and still lives in Pikeville. You can see the interview and learn more about Patton's book tonight at 7 on Issues and Answers here on WYMT. A good conversation with the former governor today. Officials with Leslie County Schools say due to illnesses in the community, they have canceled all classes district-wide for the rest of the week. Staff at the district office tell us the cancellations begin tomorrow morning and remain in effect through Friday.
Well, we are tracking some dry weather in the short term, but that next weather system is knocking on the door. Those details coming up. Plus,
the weekend full of deals did not end yesterday, as many found deals online today for Cyber Monday.